But my sort of nerdy interest, the thing I've always liked, so I should imagine there's a few people that share this interest. I love like sort of trivia and random facts. We had a bit of talk about quizzes and stuff. I love like a pub quiz. Does anyone go to a pub quiz here in Nailsworth?
Not in Nailsworth.
Oh, no. I almost answered too quickly. I would have been disqualified. I love turning it into a quiz. Where do you go to your quiz?
To Forest Hill, where my son lives, because he always invites me along when he wants to win.
What a humble brag! Yes, when he's sick of being a loser. What is your special subject in the quiz?
I think I do the sciencey ones.
Science, okay, that's cool, man. And I love doing like sort of pub quizzes and stuff, right? And a lot of them, right? The quiz that you do, what is the prize in the quiz? Is there a top prize?
I think it's 50 quid to spend in the pub.
They still give you the money, but just make sure you don't leave. Yeah, that's good. That's brilliant. Well, I like that sort of stuff. When I get like sort of money, that's the usual sort of prize. Normally that sort of money they put into a pint glass, or sometimes it's drinks from behind the bar, or that one are very like, you must never leave this bar. Me and my friends, we went to one in the absolute middle of nowhere, and the top prize for this particular quiz was a ham hock. Yes, a whole hock of ham. Some of you are thinking, where is this quiz I want to go? My friend Lee, however, was not excited by this prospect because he is a vegetarian, right? And when this happened, he put his hand up and he said to the quizmaster, he went, is there a vegetarian option available? And the quizmaster looked him in the eyes and went, yes, you can lose. So it started badly, but we were thinking like, wow, it's still a quiz, we've driven here, we'll give it a go, you know. Anyway, the quiz begins, we're thinking, well, it's going to be like any other quiz, isn't it, right? The guy walks out, it's the most local thing I've ever been to in my whole life. I'm from a small village, really, and even I thought this was incredible, because the guy walks out and goes, all right, welcome to the weekly quiz. If you don't mind, we'll be straight on out to question number 1. Geography. Who lives next door to the post office? You laugh, but you don't know me very well, but you can probably tell I take quizzes very fucking seriously. So I put my hand up, I was like, mate, is that genuinely the opening question? He looked at me with more hatred than I've ever seen in the eyes of another man. He went, shut up, vegetarian team! We got a goddamn ham hock to win. Question number 2, history. Who used to live next door to the post office? Question after question, right? It was the most local quiz I've ever been to in my whole life, right? My absolute favourite question of that whole evening was question number 17, current affairs. Who's been sleeping with John's wife? Bonus points if you can put them in the right order. Awful. Obviously, me and my friends, we weren't from that town. Like, we were proud. You know, we used to win quizzes all the time. But for the first time in our lives, we came dead last in a pub quiz. It was absolutely shameful. But on the plus side, John's wife gave me a telephone number. It's not quite true. Really, we stayed to the end. We stayed to the end of the quiz because we thought, well, we've come this far, even though we've got absolutely nothing, zero. We didn't get a single thing right. You know what a zero means, I don't know. But we got to the end of the quiz, right? He loves numbers, but we got to the end of the quiz, right? And we thought, well, we're going to stay because there's a tiebreaker round, right? The tiebreaker. This is the point where you realise how rigged it was, because the 2 teams in the final round, one was a team from the post office, who had the most terrifying quiz team name that I've ever heard. We know where you live, which is. I like that it came with an element of threat. That was the best thing. And the other team was 6 guys that looked like they knew John's wife really fucking well. We were never going to win. Never going to win. So we got to the final bit, right? We got to the final bit and they were doing a tiebreaker round, right? We thought, well, this is going to be like something stupid, and this is going to be like how many ducks are on the duck pond, or, you know, who moved in first, something incredibly local. The last question was a proper question, right? And the guy walked out, and we thought, well, we've got a chance with this, because the guy walks out and goes, right, which physicist came up with the theory of relativity? Does anyone know the answer to this question? Did anyone say they were good at science earlier? Do you know the answer? Einstein, thank you, right? Neither of the quiz team captains knew the answer. In fact, one of them panicked so much that he looked around and went, theory of relativity? Is that the idea that we could marry our sisters if we wanted to? it gets to the thing. We're thinking this is our chance to win back some honour. We can try and get some glory back by actually knowing an actual trivia question, right? I put my hand up and I went to the quizmaster. I went, if we know this, can we have a point? And the quizmaster looked at me and went, well, you've not known any of the easy ones so far. Oh yeah, okay. Well, I know this one. It's Einstein, and he looked really shocked and really surprised. We thought, well, we've won back a little bit of glory. We've got 1 point there. We should have left it at that. We had 1 point. My friend Lee, who I was telling you at the beginning, the vegetarian guy, he's still fuming. He's so angry about how this quiz had started with the ham hock and everything. He put his hand up. He went, if we know an interesting fact about Einstein, do we get bonus points just like in QI, right? You could see the quiz master was thinking, all right, then we'll give him a go, right? I think he was quite happy having his little local quiz compared with something amazing like QI. And he said to Lee, he said, yeah, if you can tell me an interesting fact about Einstein, I will give you bonus points just like in QI. Lee stood up, that's how confident this beautiful moron was. Looked around at everyone in that packed quiz and said at the top of his voice, did you know that Einstein was the doctor, not the monster? No one laughed at the quiz. Horrible, eerie silence as everyone slowly realised what that beautiful idiot had said, right? The quizmaster looked Lee dead in the eyes and went, me? Did you mean Frankenstein? To which Lee, with absolutely no drop in that idiot's confidence, just went, huh, I never knew his first name. It's really hard to walk out of that quiz still the dumbest people there. Like, we'll never come back, don't worry. But no, it was great. I love stuff like that though. I've always been nerdy. I always like nerdy stuff, right? And my main interest, right, it's a dark term to tell what has been an absolutely lovely gig, but I love stuff about the end of the world, right? You know what I mean? Like things like sort of Mad Max, The Walking Dead, the news, you know. And it's nice. I like that sort of apocalyptic stuff. I think, right? You know, I like that. Just talk about the environment and stuff. I'm passionate about that, but I do like these apocalyptic films and stuff. So I'm not saying I want it, but you know what I mean. But I like that sort of like that post-apocalyptic scenario. But it's always really American. It's always like a really American scenario. Things like aliens come in or asteroids come in. Something so exaggerated, and they have to shoot a nuclear missile and blow it up and stuff like that. I think we should make more British apocalyptic dramas with scenarios that we can get behind. Things like 3 inches of snow. And it's settled. Oh my God! That's the sequel, it'd be great. I like the little dramas that we magnify. Like my train down in Devon was once delayed due to swans on the line. I was late for a gig as well, it was horrendous. The best thing about it, right, the lady sitting opposite me in the carriage just went, oh, can we just drive round them? Which, it's incredible. She bought a ticket, didn't know what a train was. That's great, but I've already got what I think would be the greatest. I don't think I'm meant to be distracted by that. I know. But no, I already got what I think would be the greatest opening line for a British version of Mad Max or something like that. Because I say I'm from Plymouth, but I'm from like a smaller town in the outskirts, right? And back in my hometown, there was a huge power cut, and everyone did the very British reaction that you never see in an American apocalyptic film. Because the second we had a power cut, right, everyone opened their curtains and looked out to see if the street lights were off, or if the neighbours' lights were off as well, right? That's the first thing that British people do. In an American one, they see the power cut, they grab the guns, go out looting. That's the first thing. Like, I'm taking a TV! What happens if the electric never comes on? I still got a TV! I don't know. It's still weird. But anyway, right, whilst looking out the window, I overheard, right, the greatest line, the best way to start a British version of Mad Max, right? Because my neighbour was just standing out in that dark and dingy alleyway, right? He's looking up and down the road, and then he shouted at the top of his voice the absolute perfect opening line for a British version of Mad Max. Because all he did was, for fuck's sake! I've just done my Frozen shop! It's incredible, right? Because you get all like these American films where they're like, worried about the fall of democracy or aliens coming. There was this one guy in Devon, just really worried his fish fingers were going floppy. It's incredible. Like, I would watch an hour-and-a-half film of that guy trying to keep a tub of Ben and Jerry's at a reasonable temperature. What a movie that would be! Just him running around, oh, it's melting. You guys have been really lovely. I'm a little bit obsessed at the moment, right, I love language, right? I studied linguistics at university, right, and I'm a bit obsessed with language. And that was kind of, well, that's another thing as well, we had like a little bit of talk about the German language. Does anyone speak another language here? Do we have anyone that's bilingual or anything like that?
See?
See, I love someone said see. Well played. No, I wish I could speak another language, right? When I was at the school, right, this is where it went a little bit wrong, right, because my German teacher decided, right, in order to encourage us to learn German, he would combine the subjects of German with Star Wars, right? Are we all familiar with the Star Wars films, right? And what he did, right, it was terrible. It's as bad as it sounds, because he had a toy lightsaber that he would use to point at words on the board whilst making the lightsaber sound effects. So he could stand in front of a class of like 30 kids, wanting to learn mostly, right? He stood in front of us and he'd be like, hello. Guten Tag. As you can tell, the worst teaching technique that has ever happened, right? And also the reason, every time I go to say a word in German, I have that massive urge to make a lightsaber sound effect in front of it, which is a weird speech impediment to have developed in another language, right? The biggest problem, right, the biggest problem wasn't the fact that he did that, is he taught us two phrases, right? And I'm not sure if I remember them 100% correctly, but this is the phrases that he taught us, right? These are the only ones that ever stuck with me. The first phrase, das ist kein Mond, das ist eine Raumstation. That's no moon, that's a space station. Can anyone tell me a possible use for that? No, because there isn't one. Secondly, my personal favourite, die sind nicht reden, die sie suchen. These aren't the droids you're looking for. Once again, completely and utterly useless. Right? So useless. In fact, I got lost on the school trip to Berlin, and I was starting to panic. Right? I was really scared. He loves the idea of a child stuck in Berlin. This is terrifying. Right? I was terrified. I was properly terrified. I couldn't find a class, couldn't find a hotel, couldn't find anyone I knew. But then in my moment of severe doubt and desperation, I remembered my GCSE level German, and I approached the German person. And I walked up to him, I thought, I'm going to be fine. I walked up to him and I went, Guten Tag! Das ist kein Mund, das ist eine Raumstation! And I'll never forget what he said to me as he looked me dead in the eyes. How did you know they're building a Death Star? Horrendous. I was a terrible, terrible child. It's so bad. But